I walked in on my fiancée kissing my brother. She said, "We're in love, Ethan." My family called it true love. I got Liam's letter, but it wasn't an apology. And then I read his final words. I came home to our Chicago apartment, my heart still buzzing from a long day at work. The city's hum faded as I turned the key, expecting Sarah, my fiancée, to greet me with her usual smile. We'd been together for 3 years, planning a wedding in 6 months, but something felt off. The air was too still, the lights dim. I called her name, no answer. My stomach twisted. Then I heard a muffled laugh from the living room. I stepped forward, my boots heavy on the hardwood floor. There, on our couch, was Sarah, her arms wrapped around my brother, Liam, their lips locked, oblivious to the world. My breath caught, like someone had punched me in the chest. "What the hell is this?" I roared. They sprang apart. Sarah's eyes widened, her face pale as the moonlight spilling through the window. Liam scrambled to his feet, hands raised like he could stop the storm. "Ethan, wait, it's not," he started. I didn't let him finish. I grabbed his shirt, yanking him off the couch. My fist clenched, ready to swing. I wanted to erase that smug look on his face. Sarah's voice cut through, shrill and desperate. "Ethan, stop! Please, don't hurt him!" She grabbed my arm, tears streaming down her cheeks. I froze, my pulse pounding in my ears. "Hurt him!" I spat. "You're both tearing me apart!" She sobbed, her words tumbling out. "We've been trying to tell you. This isn't new. We've been together for months." My knees buckled. "Months?" The room spun. "You're in love," she whispered, clutching Liam's hand. "We didn't want to hurt you, but we love each other." Love. The word burned. My fiancé and my brother, the two people I trusted most, stabbing me in the back. I stumbled back, my vision blurring. "You love him?" I choked out. Liam nodded, his jaw tight, like he was bracing for a fight. "Ethan, I'm sorry. It just happened." Just happened? I wanted to scream, to break something. Instead, I pointed to the door, my voice shaking. "Get out, both of you, now." Sarah hesitated, her eyes pleading, but I turned away. I couldn't look at her, not after this. They grabbed their things in silence, the door clicking shut behind them. I stood there, alone, the apartment echoing with their betrayal. My chest ached, like something vital had been ripped out. I sank onto the couch, the same one they'd defiled, and buried my face in my hands. How could they do this? How could I not see it? The memories of Sarah's late nights, Liam's awkward visits, flashed through my mind. It was all so clear now. I'd been blind. The days after catching Sarah and Liam together blurred into a haze of anger and pain. I sat in my Chicago apartment, staring at the empty space where Sarah's things used to be. I'd ended the engagement that night, tossing her ring into a drawer. My voice had been cold, final. "We're done. Leave," she cried, begged, but I didn't budge. Liam tried to apologize, but I slammed the door in his face. They were gone, but the hurt stayed, clawing at me. I called my parents the next morning, my voice cracking as I told them everything. Mom gasped, her words sharp over the phone. "How could Liam do this to you?" Dad was quieter, but I heard the anger in his pause. They sent Liam a blistering text, calling him out for betraying his own brother. For a moment, I felt supported, like I wasn't alone in this mess. But then, weeks later, I opened my phone to a gut punch. Sarah and Liam had gone public. A Facebook post, of all things. There they were, smiling on a Miami beach, the ocean sparkling behind them. The caption read, "My forever." My stomach churned. I scrolled through the comments, cousins, aunts, even mutual friends liking and congratulating them. My hands shook. How could they move on so fast? How could they flaunt it? I blocked Sarah, but not Liam. A mistake. My cousin Jake texted me, his message cautious. "You see their post yet?" I lied, said I hadn't. Truth was, I couldn't stop looking. I unblocked Sarah, torturing myself with her profile. Photos of them at the diner we used to love, the coffee shop where I'd proposed. Every image was a knife twist. They were living our memories, stealing my life. I blocked her again, my chest tight, tears burning my eyes. My parents called, their voices softer now. "Ethan, maybe they're serious about each other," Mom said. I laughed, bitter. "Serious? They stabbed me in the back," Dad chimed in, urging me to let it go, to focus on myself. But how could I? My own brother, my fiancé, they'd turned my world upside down. I hung up, feeling the first cracks in my family's support. Friends tried to help. My buddy Mark called Liam, tearing into him over the phone. "You're a piece of work, man," he said. I appreciated it, but it didn't ease the ache. Family members checked in, asking how I was holding up. At first, I played it cool, said I was fine, but the truth slipped out one night to my Aunt Clara. "I'm falling apart," I admitted, my voice barely a whisper. She listened, offered support, but it wasn't enough to fill the void. Seeing Liam and Sarah's relationship grow stronger made my blood boil. I'd hoped it would crash and burn, but it didn't. They were out there, happy, while I was stuck in this dark hole. My parents' texts grew less frequent, their tone less angry. It was like they were warming up to the idea of Liam and Sarah. I felt betrayed all over again, not just by them, but by the family I thought had my back. The rift was growing, and I was on the wrong side of it. Months passed, but the sting of Sarah and Liam's betrayal lingered like a bruise that wouldn't fade. I threw myself into work, hoping the long hours at my Chicago office would drown out the pain, but every quiet moment brought their faces back. Sarah's smile, Liam's guilty eyes. My family's shifting stance made it worse. The same people who'd cursed Liam out were now softening, whispering about love and second chances. It felt like a slap in the face. Thanksgiving rolled around, and Mom called, her voice dripping with forced cheer. "Come to Ohio, Ethan. It's been too long since we've all been together." I hesitated. Something in her tone didn't sit right, but I agreed, hoping for a distraction. Driving up to my parents' house in Columbus, the crisp fall air did little to calm my nerves. I walked in, expecting warmth and familiarity. Instead, I got a gut punch. Sarah and Liam sat across the dining room table, hands clasped under the tablecloth. The room smelled of roasted turkey and tension. My jaw tightened. Mom hadn't warned me they'd be here. "What is this?" I asked, my voice low, sharp. Dad cleared his throat, avoiding my eyes. "Just a family dinner, son." "Bullshit." I glared at Sarah, who stared at her plate, her cheeks flushed. Liam shifted, uncomfortable, but didn't speak. Uncle Mike broke the silence, his voice too loud. "So, Ethan, how's the job going?" I forced a smile, my words clipped. "Busy." "Fine." But my eyes kept darting to Liam and Sarah. Their closeness, their ease, it was unbearable. Mom piped up, her tone overly bright. "Sarah's killing it at her new marketing job in Boston." I gripped my fork, knuckles white. "Great for her," I muttered, sarcasm dripping. Liam finally spoke, his voice soft, proud. "She's amazing. I'm lucky." The table fell silent, everyone holding their breath. My chest burned. Lucky? He stole my fiancée, and he's lucky? I wanted to flip the table, scream at them all. Instead, I leaned forward, my voice cold. "You two seem real cozy. Must be nice rewriting my life." Sarah's eyes filled with tears, but I didn't care. "Ethan, we didn't mean," she started. I cut her off. "Don't. Just don't." Mom jumped in, her voice pleading. "Can we have one peaceful dinner? It's Thanksgiving." I laughed, bitter. "Peaceful? After they stabbed me in the back?" Liam's face hardened. "We messed up, Ethan, but we're trying to move forward. Maybe you should too." His words hit like a fist. Move forward? They'd shattered my world, and I was supposed to just smile and nod? "You betrayed me," I snapped, standing up. "Both of you. And now you want me to play happy family?" Sarah sobbed, wiping her eyes. "We never wanted to hurt you," I scoffed. "Well, you did. Congrats." Dad's voice boomed, cutting through. "Enough. This isn't the place." I stared at him, my heart pounding. "You're all acting like this is normal. It's not. It'll never be." The room went quiet, their eyes heavy with pity, judgment. I couldn't take it. I grabbed my coat and stormed out, the door slamming behind me. The cold Ohio air hit my face, but it didn't cool the rage inside. My family was slipping away, siding with them. I drove back to Chicago that night, alone, the highway stretching out like my anger, endless, unyielding. Back in Chicago, I tried to bury myself in routine, but the wound from Thanksgiving still bled. Work, gym, repeat. None of it dulled the ache of Sarah and Liam's betrayal. My phone stayed quiet for weeks, the family group chat dormant. I thought maybe they'd finally let it go. Then, one evening, my phone buzzed, a notification from the group chat. My heart sank. I knew it wouldn't be good. I opened it, half expecting some mundane update. Instead, Liam's message stared back at me. "Big news! Sarah and I are moving in together in Boston." My chest tightened, like someone had sucked the air out of the room. A photo followed them grinning outside a brownstone, arms around each other. The caption read, "New chapter, new home." I stared, my hands trembling. The chat exploded with replies. Mom sent a string of heart emojis. "So happy for you two," Dad followed. "Proud of you, Liam. Big step." Aunt Clara chimed in. "Excited to visit your new place." I scrolled, each message a fresh cut. How could they celebrate this? Did they forget what Liam and Sarah did to me? My vision blurred, anger boiling over. I typed before I could stop myself. "Are you serious? You're all congratulating them like they didn't ruin my life?" My fingers shook as I hit send. The chat went silent, the flurry of happy messages stopping cold. I could almost hear the collective gasp through the screen. Mom replied first, her tone soft. "Ethan, we know it's hard, but they're family. We have to support them." Support them? My blood pounded in my ears. I typed back, my words raw. "They betrayed me, my own brother, my fiancé, and you're throwing them a party?" Uncle Mike jumped in, trying to play peacemaker. "Everyone makes mistakes, Ethan. They're happy now." Happy. That word burned. "Mistakes?" I shot back. "They didn't spill coffee. They stole my life." The argument erupted, messages flying like shrapnel. Cousins took sides, some defending Liam and Sarah, others urging me to calm down. "You're not the one who got stabbed in the back," I typed, my heart racing. Dad's message came next, stern. "This isn't helping anyone, Ethan. Let it go." Let it go? I laughed, bitter, alone in my apartment. They were rewriting history, pretending this was normal. Sarah sent a private message, her words careful. "Ethan, we're sorry. Can we talk?" I didn't respond. I couldn't. The group chat kept buzzing, but I was done. I typed one last message. "Enjoy your happy family. I'm out." I left the chat, silenced my phone, and tossed it on the couch. The silence was deafening, but it was better than their excuses. I paced my apartment, the walls closing in. Boston. A new home. A new life. While I was stuck, drowning in their betrayal. My family's support for them felt like a second knife in my back. I sank onto the floor, my head in my hands. The anger was suffocating, but beneath it, there was something worse: loneliness. They were moving on, building their future, while I was left picking up the pieces of mine. The months after Liam and Sarah's moving in announcement felt like a slow bleed. I kept my distance, ignoring family calls, focusing on my Chicago life. Work was my anchor, but the pain lingered, sharp and relentless. Then Mom called, her voice too casual. "Ethan, come to Philadelphia for dinner. Just Just us, a quiet family night. I should have known better. Her tone had that same forced warmth from Thanksgiving, but I went, craving some normalcy. I walked into my parents' house, the smell of pot roast heavy in the air. My stomach dropped when I saw the dining room. Liam and Sarah sat there, side by side, hands clasped. My parents smiled nervously, like they'd been caught in a lie. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice tight. Mom fidgeted, glancing at Dad. "Just a family dinner, Ethan." I didn't buy it. My eyes locked on Liam, his face tense, like he was bracing for impact. Sarah spoke first, her voice trembling. "We wanted to tell you in person." My heart pounded. "Tell me what?" Liam cleared his throat, his eyes meeting mine for the first time in months. "We're engaged." The word hit like a sledgehammer. Engaged. My ex-fiancée and my brother. The room felt too small, the air too thick. I gripped the chair, my knuckles white. "You're serious?" I managed, my voice shaking. Sarah nodded, tears in her eyes. "We know this is hard, Ethan. We're so sorry." Sorry? The word meant nothing. Liam leaned forward, his voice earnest. "We love each other. We want to build a life together. A life. My life. The one I'd planned with Sarah." I wanted to scream, to flip the table, but I stood frozen, my chest burning. Mom jumped in, her voice soft, pleading. "Ethan, we just want the family to heal." "Heal?" I laughed, sharp and bitter. "Heal? They betrayed me, and you're throwing them a party?" Dad's face hardened. "They're still your family. You need to move on." Move on. Like it was that easy. Like I could just erase the past. Sarah tried again, her voice breaking. "We never meant to hurt you." I cut her off, my words cold. "You did, and now you're rubbing it in my face." Liam's jaw tightened. "We're not perfect, Ethan, but we're trying to make this right." Right? Nothing about this was right. I pushed back from the table, the chair scraping loudly. "You don't get to decide what's right for me." The weeks that followed were hell. Wedding invitations arrived, elegant cards with their names in gold. My phone buzzed with family texts, urging me to attend. "It's time to let go," Aunt Clara wrote. "For the family," Dad said in a call. Even Mom, who'd once been my rock, pushed hard. "It's the mature thing, Ethan. Show up for Liam." Mature. The word made my blood boil. Every fiber of me screamed against it. Stand there, watching Sarah marry my brother, smile while they vowed forever, knowing it was supposed to be me. The thought was torture. Family dinners, calls, texts, they all piled on, each one a fresh wound. "You'll regret not going," Mom said, her voice thick with tears. I didn't care. I couldn't face that day, that room, those vows. I lay awake nights, torn. Part of me wanted to go, to prove I was bigger than their betrayal. But the other part, the louder part, knew I'd break. I stared at the invitation on my counter, their names mocking me. I had to choose, my family's expectations or my own sanity. The clock was ticking, and the wedding was coming fast. The wedding invitation sat on my Chicago apartment counter, a constant reminder of the choice I had to make. Every call from Mom, every text from Dad, pushed me to attend Liam and Sarah's wedding. "It's for the family," they said. But my heart screamed no. I couldn't stand there, watching my ex-fiancée marry my brother, pretending it didn't tear me apart. The thought made my stomach churn, my chest tight. I had to protect myself. The day of the wedding, I stayed home. While my family gathered in Philadelphia, I sat alone in my living room, the city's hum faint through the window. I turned off my phone, silencing the flood of texts I knew would come. The quiet was heavy, but it was mine. I poured a coffee, stared at the steam rising, and let my thoughts wander. Why did it hurt so much? Not just the betrayal, but the way my family rallied around them, like my pain didn't matter. I walked to the window, the Chicago skyline glittering in the distance. This was my turning point. I couldn't change what Liam and Sarah did, or how my family chose sides, but I could choose me. I grabbed the invitation, tore it in half, and tossed it in the trash. It felt like cutting a chain. For the first time in months, I breathed a little easier. The days after were tough, but I leaned into rebuilding. I threw myself into work, landing a big project that kept me busy. I reconnected with old friends, like Mark, who invited me to a Cubs game. The roar of the crowd, the crack of the bat. It was a small escape, but it felt good. I even picked up running, pounding the lakefront trail until my lungs burned, chasing something like peace. One evening, as I sorted through a box of old stuff, I found a photo of Liam and me. Kids, maybe 10, grinning at a fair, cotton candy in hand. My throat tightened. He was my brother, my best friend once. The memory stung, but it reminded me of who I was before this mess. I set the photo aside, not ready to throw it out. Then a letter arrived. Liam's handwriting. I almost didn't open it, but I did. His words were raw, full of regret. "I miss you, Ethan. I know I screwed up. I'm not asking for forgiveness, just a chance." My first instinct was to burn it. Instead, I folded it, set it on my desk. I wasn't ready to respond, but something shifted. Maybe I could let go of the anger, bit by bit. I started journaling, spilling my thoughts onto paper. It helped. The pain was still there, sharp some days, dull others. But I was moving forward, not for them, but for me. Sarah and Liam's wedding marked the day I chose myself. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew I'd face it on my terms, scars and all. Liam's letter sat on my desk for weeks, its weight heavier than the paper itself. I'd read it a dozen times, each word a mix of regret and hope. Part of me wanted to tear it up, to keep the wall I'd built between us. But another part, the part that remembered us as kids, laughing in the Chicago summer, couldn't let go. I was tired of carrying the anger. It was eating me alive. alive. One night, I sat in my apartment, the city's lights flickering outside. I grabbed a pen, my hand shaking, and wrote back. I'm not ready to forgive you, Liam, but I'm open to talking. Short, honest, raw. I mailed it before I could change my mind. A week later, he texted, "Can we meet? Coffee? Neutral ground." My stomach twisted, but I agreed. We met at a small cafe on Clark Street, the smell of espresso thick in the air. Liam looked different, older maybe, his eyes heavy with guilt. I sat across from him, my arms crossed, waiting. "I messed up, Ethan," he said, his voice low. "I hate what I did to you." I didn't respond right away. The hurt was still there, sharp as ever, but his words felt real, not rehearsed. "It's not just you," I finally said, my voice steady. "It's Sarah. It's Mom and Dad siding with you. It's everything." He nodded, his jaw tight. "I know. I don't expect you to get over it. I just want a chance to make it right. Make it right." Those words stuck with me. Could he? Could anyone? We talked for an hour, awkward at first, then easier. Not like before, not like brothers who shared everything, but it was a start. We didn't mention Sarah much. She was a shadow between us, a wound too raw to touch. When we parted, he hugged me quick, hesitant. I didn't pull away. That was something. Back home, I thought about Sarah. She was Liam's wife now, a fact I had to live with. I didn't want her in my life, not after everything, but I could coexist, keep my distance. I unfollowed her on social media, muted her existence. It helped. The less I saw of their life, the less it hurt. I leaned harder into my own world. Work was steady, my project earning praise. I joined a running group, pounding the lakefront trail with strangers who became friends. I even started painting, something I hadn't done since high school. Each brushstroke felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. The pain didn't vanish, but it grew quieter, less suffocating. Liam and I kept in touch, texts at first, then calls. We avoided the past, talked about safe things, sports, work, the weather. It wasn't the same, and it never would be, but it was enough for now. One day, he invited me to dinner, just us. I said yes, surprising myself. Sarah wasn't there, and I was grateful. We laughed a little, reminisced about old times. It felt fragile, but real. Sitting in my apartment, months later, I looked at that old photo of us as kids. The bittersweet ache was still there, but it didn't crush me anymore. I'd lost a fiancé, a brother, a family for a while, but I'd found something else myself. I wasn't whole yet, but I was getting there. One step, one day at a time.